Phebe. I was actually born Karen Beiser, but in the 70s, and I'll give my age, yeah. You'll tell my age. In the 1970s, I was in my 20s and pretty wild. And it was kind of popular to add a name or change your name, first name. So anyway, but that's another book. That's another book, maybe, I don't know, my memoirs someday, perhaps. But the journey, but I want to give credit to this idea of a journey and a journey within a journey. We have several journeys within this book, a literal travel journey towards the end. Of course, the journey to publication, which is a journey all of its own, not always pleasant. And a journey, but the first journey we had to meet each other from the United States and India. So anyway, I'm glad to have this opportunity to have an excuse to come to India for the third time in, 10 years. That's pretty often. I'd say I have some kind of karma with India. I'm not quite sure all what it is, but obviously I have connection with the spirituality, because I did, just in case you're wondering, should I give it away? I did take the first 5 precepts of Buddhism back in 2008. Was that 18 years ago? Yes, 18 years ago. But we'll have questions and answers at the end if you care more about those kind of details. The Buddha and the bitch and why we are what we are, and it's not always as it seems. So, let me see. So first, Rashma and I had to meet, literally. And of course, with the technology, we did get to communicate online. But what I call the Sonia connection, she had a schoolgirl friend named Sonia, who we really wish could have been here, but she couldn't. A longtime friend. And Sonia taught at a university very nearby where I live in Greater Cincinnati, Ohio. And so Sonia and I had to meet first, as fate would have it. So we were at a large table at a restaurant that has concerts on the weekends. We were at this large table with some mutual friends, but we didn't know each other.
So basically what happened was that we'd had some rejections, and I just happened to meet somebody at Hay House and asked for a feedback. I said, connect me to the editor, if nothing else. And she just said, well, it's a great book, it's a unique story, it's new, but it's kind of unstructured because it has some dialogue in it, which is not the format a novel is written in. So you have to bring the dialogue as a narrative. So just do a rewrite, consider a rewrite, and that's all that we needed. I'm basically a playwright, and I'm used to rewrites. I do 50 drafts at least of one play, because that's what it takes for a play to go to a Broadway level kind of production. My plays are performed internationally. I have been nominated in Australia for Best New Writing, for 2017. So rewriting and drafts is part of my being. So I just took on the challenge, and I kind of coaxed her, okay, it's all right, we'll rewrite and we'll do it like this. And then it just happened, and they liked it, and now it's in the market. So that is one part of the story. But basically today, as you know, the topic is about the new trends in writing. I'm going to come back to that topic since we've spoken a lot about our book and ourselves. So I was basically identify myself as a playwright, and I write internationally. And sometimes I write a book in between plays. So I did a bit of research on how Indian publishing industry is doing. And as Phoebe finds it very strange that literary agents are not required here in India, but that's how it is. You have literary agents, some of them are coming up, but it's kind of easier and more difficult. You can easily directly approach a publisher, but it takes much longer. It's not structured in that sense. So I'll first give an overview of the Indian publishing industry, talk about the book trends which are going on, and then last of all, I'll just give 2 lines about what our book is really all about. So this is my 3rd book to be published, a 2nd in India, and I can tell you that every book is just as hard to write, publish, and later on sell as the first one. So it doesn't get any easier with time, if that's what we think. So we all start with a blank page, then there are drafts, a million drafts, rewrites, and then you go finally put an end to it and say, okay, I've written enough, maybe I should now submit. And then this whole thing about submission, query letters to agents, to publishers. And finally, when you are published, you become a sales girl, because that's what I've seen in Indian publishing industry scene. You end up becoming more of a salesperson rather than a writer. The one who's successful is the one who's a great salesman in India. I'm not cribbing here. I'm just saying what I see these days happening.